Okay, we are on to zero point 0.2. We are officially on the tracks and ready to go. And if this train isn't going, we do need a good conductor to help us along the way. This is a mix between Luke and Han Solo and maybe a Wookiee all thrown into one. We've got Dan, the man, DANSOME, joining us for episode 2. Here we
Oh,
go.
thank you, Brandon. Yeah, thanks for having me.
You kind of, I forget what it was. It was one of your giveaways or something that popped up, and obviously being in the golf world, that's kind of how I saw
Mhm.
you. But I right away I knew it was like more than golf. I think it was actually one of your car shoots, and I just went, he's got such a great eye, and so it was instant follow, and then you've actually been helping me. I feel like more than the other way around now, sharing my stuff all the time,
Yeah,
being a constant member of that community, this little Canadian and North American and freaking across the world community that we've kind of put
yeah.
together
Oh, for
here.
sure. Yeah. Um, if you're going to be on Instagram in it for yourself, what's the point, right? Like, you know, more. I'm not more than happy. I want to share your content. I think it's about community. So
Yeah.
if I can share somebody else's stuff and help them out, and it all comes back. I think we're stronger as a community, so to speak. So that's the whole point of this year's giveaways, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say that leads perfectly into what I wanted to talk about is that you've decided to put a little Santa Claus hat in this time of year and do this giveaway. And I forget how many years it is now.
This is year
Um,
3.
this
Yeah.
is year 3. It
Yeah.
feels like 5 or 6 because of just how much bigger it's gotten, even just the last year that I've seen
Yeah.
it. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about that process
You
and
know, I'll talk
how it
about
came
it.
about.
So you all just sit back and um 3 years ago, when my Instagram started to really ramp up again, uh I was gonna do a giveaway. I was doing a giveaway with a Canadian watch retailer that I worked with throughout the year. But it sort of spawned an idea of, well, everybody does 12 days. Can I pull off 12 days?
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm working with Jim from Sub 70 now, and this has nothing to do with me. Why not just put a platform at the end of the year that can showcase everyone? Like,
Yeah.
not a single brand or company, you can ask anyone, pays a cent for this. The only cost out of their pocket is obviously giveaway product. But at the end of the year, that sort of comes down to marketing anyways, right? Like,
Yeah.
so, and then shipping. So there's costs involved, but I don't charge a single cent for any of that. Like, I would feel greasy. This is a platform for them to have a voice to the community, and in vice versa, the community comes back and can band together and they get a little something out of it. But at the same time, it helps the brands get awareness and followers, etc. It's just, it's the right thing to do. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, and it was so neat seeing because last year, obviously, so creative with a lot of your videos,
Thank
and
you.
it
Yeah.
was you kind of doing everything. And this year,
Yeah.
you've kind of passed that baton back to the community to be like, you guys kind of showcase your stuff. It is your stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really enjoying that.
So year one was, obviously, I was really only doing photography, and 5 days turned into 12, because as I kept going, the people I have also worked with or who caught attention to it,
Yeah,
they wanted to be a part of it. So that actually got me to 12. And I actually got to 12 days the first year. So then the following year, I was already being told we're back in, or we're getting reached out to. And then I was really into starting to do reels, because last year, the whole reason was last year reels were the popular thing on Instagram. So you
yeah,
want to do reels, but it also gives you a way to tell everyone what you're doing, right? And so the idea was, like, don't ship the product to me. Why ship it twice? Just keep it. You know,
yeah,
make your own videos and tell people who you are, because showing the faces behind small companies is, I think, is better for the company
yeah,
than trying to reach out via not just product, but it's, look, we're human beings, we're people, we're here, we're trying to run a business. Like, so I think it's better for them. and then I can be goofy on the bookending,
Yeah,
right? So yeah.
exactly.
And then this year it was like, well, we're going to do that again. But if you want to help with exposure for brands and content creators, like people that I consider friends talking to in the world on Instagram, why
Yeah.
don't you guest host? And through all of us, we'll jointly give you a bigger stage. I mean, some of them have more followers than me, more power to them, which is great. But, some of these guys might have 3,000 followers. Let's expose you to more people, expose the brands you work with to more people. It's good for everyone.
Hmm.
It's Christmas for everyone, right? Like, that's the point. Yeah.
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 And it is easy for us to say, like, for a lot of these people to wear multiple hats, and that can be really busy and cumbersome.
Yeah.
And I'm, similar situation. I have a
Yeah.
full-time job on top of this, and how does that kind of throw into the mix with everything going on?
So by day, I work at a digital agency. We do web apps, marketing, the whole day, the whole 9 yards. So, but we never went back to an office. So working from home is good because I can get up and start working. And then if there's breaks during the day and just be available all day. And
Yeah.
then, I can take a long lunch to do some filming. And I know work's watching and I know they all watch my Instagram. So I do it on lunches and at 5 a.m. So,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
do. I get up at 5 a.m. and I shoot the reels and I shoot content every day
Yeah.
because I wait for inspiration, right? Like even for photos, it's like get on Instagram, surf. It's 7:30. I'm inspired by these two guys today, so I'm going to go shoot a shadowy shot. Or it's like I, I get inspired by creators.
Yeah.
Creators inspire me to be better. They inspire me to get out there. So going full circle, give them a platform in the 12 days of DANSOME and make it a community thing because I told people we are stronger as a community, right?
Yeah.
Some guys have taken off. Some guys have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? But as a community, I mean, it helps them too. But as a community for the smaller guys, what am I, a micro or nano influencer? Like,
Yeah. But
um,
that's what everyone's looking
yeah,
for these days. Yeah.
you know what? And I get it. And I see it now in the giveaways because I've probably missed a few, but here's another thing. Every single person who has shared something in their story, I have said thank you to in the DM.
Yeah.
New followers, people who are in the requests. Um, and I've done that, right?
Yeah.
So
And that kind of, ties in with how, like, we first started getting connected. I had to double check because I thought it was a scam because I'm like, okay, this person's talking back and thanking me. It's a bot, right? I'm like, I
yep,
did just join this giveaway, and you did post there was a bot lurking. So I was like, it's a bot.
there were a lot of
And
bots
then
last.
it was a busy year last year for bots. They helped me,
Yeah,
actually. They gave me a big
yeah,
following boost, but it was that kind of reassurance of like, oh, it found the right audience. Like, I might not be up into the 10,000s
mhm.
yet, but I find that the 2,000 people I have, and it's not 2,000 people that are engaged with me, but that small group, they're engaged and they're really helping the journey,
And
right? And that's why I put a community
yeah,
as our, like, for our title, and we use
you helped
we a
me.
lot.
You helped me think of. I was trying to finish a thought there about saying nano micro influencers, whatever the 1 to 10,000 is. Um, we we really do have a better interaction engagement with people. Like
Hmm.
I try to talk to everyone and like I try to also get on and talk to everybody else. And how hard it is right now to catch up on everybody's feed in the morning with
Yes.
2 to 3 giveaways a day is a lot. Like my Instagram goes like this, and then I try and get on and catch up and try and comment on as many other people's posts as possible. It's nuts, but yeah, engagement. I try and engage with everyone.
Yeah, and
And
it really shows, and that like,
thank you.
our
Yeah,
reach is wild. Like yourself, I know you have a lot of people in Europe as well,
yeah,
and but yeah, myself, when I started the page, it was actually people in Scotland had a big push at one point. The McLeod, I guess, maybe started taking off, and then it was Korea, and then it was, Chicago and Midwest, and that really blew up. And then it was actually you guys out BC wise, and then down into the middle. And it was really neat that way. It was that like it was finding the right audience. It wasn't finding the biggest audience. It was finding the right audience, and the growth was natural that way too.
That's awesome. And once you get something original out there, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that's the only way to tap into social now. I mean, there's way too many people who go with the same format. I
Yeah.
mean, and it works, but there's also that's like 1%. And then there's the 99% of people who think they can do what they do and they don't go anywhere. So I just have to try and be different and try and be me. And I'm real,
Yes.
like, and then that's the only thing, it's the only way to differentiate yourself, right? So,
I totally
um,
agree. I
yeah,
had a group who was talking about how, and I love these guys, like Bob Does Sports. I love watching
yep.
those guys. They're so much fun. But they said, we're going to be like Bob Does Sports. And all the power to you, but then you're just making a copy. And
Look at the big golf influencers and the really successful ones all have basically the same formula. But if you're actively looking for the big brands, that's who they're going to be engaging with, right?
yeah,
Um, I'm not targeting anybody. I actually don't reach out to companies. Like, if you're good and nice, if you're a good person and you make
hmm
quality content, the right people will come to you, and those are the people you want to work with, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think as much as the universe sometimes kind of
yeah,
pushes us down, sometimes it does. That moment does happen. It's just the right timing, the right people reach out, and it doesn't feel forced. It
yeah.
just happens. Yeah, totally agree.
Phosphorus Leather, the watch case company, they're becoming one of the bigger ones. They're in Turkey. They reached out during last year's giveaways and they were going to try and get something together for last, but he called me on Google Meet and we talked. He's like, I love what you're doing. And I talked to him. And by my birthday, that was 2 months later, I did some giveaways. I love themed giveaways. Yeah. Around
Nothing,
my life, don't I? But
no problem with that.
cough cough, they haven't done a giveaway this year, so we'll just tell everybody they're coming up, and it's
Just
valuable. I'll just say it's valuable. I was shocked. So yeah, they, you know what? You know, you're going to be the first platform I publicly say this on.
more breaking news.
Not 12 days. It's no longer 12 days. I haven't even announced it yet, so I'll just say that. Yeah. And I'm not doing more than 15. We'll just say that.
Okay, so you at home, you guys get to pick that number, but you have
Oh
your
no, it's
range.
it's set, but it's not more than 15 and no more. I can't do anymore. Yeah.
He gives, and he gives, ladies and gentlemen.
They um I'll tell a story here. I had somebody reach out to me last Monday in the community. He's like, next year I'm helping you with this. Like, I'm there for you. And I'm like, jokingly, what's wrong with this year? And within 2 hours, he had 3 brands and one of his videos done. And yeah, you could have a whole day. You
Yeah,
could have the 13th. It was declared your day just for doing this. So yeah, the community is rallying. Yeah. So you want a
yeah.
day next year? You let me know.
I'm in the works.
Yeah.
We've got custom towels we're thinking here, and some
Yeah.
shirt prints. A lot of things going on. And actually, that's
That's
something I
awesome.
did want to talk about. Was the feeling, this was kind of like our second year doing the page and stuff, and there was that promise. Last year, everything kind of was going right. Like we had a really large viewed video. I think it was 50 plus million, and that's where the
Mhm.
followers came in. We were able to do giveaways, and things were going well. And then next year, it was kind of like a wake up call, like tech issues, and life got in the way. And I think it is exciting having this opportunity to just kind of shake it off and just say this is a whole new year, because there's no stake, right? Everything I've been doing is for enjoyment and to share. Right?
Mhm.
There's no deadline, or there's no having to do.
In the same way, it's you got some friends who are like, I don't know how you can do it every day, and it's just I'm a creative. The juices get going, and you've got
Yep.
to be creating something. You got to be going, and creating gets you through things too. You're saying family gets in the way, life gets in the way. 2 years ago, I had a big breakup, and you know, I was quiet for that January on social media, but the community noticed. They reached out. Is something wrong? Where are
Yeah.
you? What's going on? We broke up, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, people are there for you. But then the creative outlet brought me back in, and that just gave me life to just sort of,
Yeah.
you know, keep going, right? So,
Like you said, to get
yeah,
up early and
yeah,
do the stuff before
yeah,
your actual job and stuff. I'm the same way.
yeah.
That's when I feel like everything just kind of comes into place
Mhm.
when. But there are days too, and I've seen it on the page as well, where it's just blanket, cat on the side, and then just kind of phone away somewhere or
Yep.
throw on the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
But
Um,
I will say, I, I don't stay away for long. I need people.
yeah. Oh,
It's
I
odd
oh
that I'm surviving working from home every day, but I'm
yeah.
actually, I guess at my age, you kind of get into a comfort zone. You're like, I don't need people. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it is odd. I feel like we're working from home, but we're um like trying to connect with people
yeah,
so far away. It is a weird thing. I've been doing it now for how many years now it's been, but
yeah.
it's a shift. It's a
The
shift for
good thing
sure.
is our company every morning at 9:30, there's a company-wide stand-up for half an hour, and we're all on video and we all connect, and you know, at least you get your video meetings all day, and you know, there's that. There's once again a sense of community. There's human beings to talk to, right? You can't be
Yeah.
on can't be on Instagram all day. Yeah, yeah.
Now, talking about we were, watches, golf, what came first? What
Okay, so 2012, 2013, 2014, I was actually with my golf spine, and you know, articles helping out with the forums, you know, newsletters, things like that. So, you know, that got me into. I mean, I was always into golf, so I started Instagram in the golf world. So obviously that gave me some exposure and allowed me to build up. But you know, no longer with them, and you know, COVID hit, and the golf was going well, but
Mhm.
COVID hit, and I'm stuck inside, and I'm like, I need a watch. And then I went down the watch rabbit hole, the Instagram watch rabbit hole, like the community and the
Yep.
photography. So then you get into watch photography, and you discover these guys are really good, like product photography, and it's props to all of them. But then after you get into it and you realize about product photography, you're like, wow, why am I not shooting golf this way? I don't have to be going out onto the course and shooting a swing all the time or something like that. You know, I can do, hello, cat. Um, you know, you can frame and flat lay and show off product that way. And that attracted new companies and brands looking for a new visual. And so the whole thing changed my trajectory, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think there really is nothing classier than that look. Like glove in hand, peak of the watch,
Yep.
and then like a nice grip. Like having that picture and frame, like that's a perfect golf shot and watch shot. Like can go either way.
That's where the joint thing came, because I realized that, you know, I started attracting glove brands because I could do watch and glove and hanging against some tall grass, or like it was
Yeah.
really easy to do, right? And shoot myself, you know. And everybody said, "Well, how do you shoot it yourself?" I was at a wedding last year with friends, and I was sitting at the table, and she's like, "How do you do all those self portraits?" And I was at the wedding, and I got out my phone remote, because you can remote cameras on the phone. She's like, "No, this is how I do it. Start the timer, put it in your pocket. You're all framed up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Um, Content creation, once you discover all the little tricks, you can just go wild with it.
Yeah, and I love filling that spot, and who cares what's going on
Yeah.
out here? The madness, and that's I think happens a lot in social media and our creation is that like if you could only see what's behind the camera or just outside the frame, and you
Oh
can see
yeah.
this right now as we're filming. I have quite the setup.
It's I definitely frame my shots. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. We
and
won't
look
show
three
you the same
times.
thing. That's for sure. Yeah.
Talked about the 12 days, which now apparently is a bit more than 12.
There's a few more, but jokingly in the back of my head, the running joke is you're gonna end up kind of being like Batman, just a symbol. Yeah, the
Yeah,
giveaways are a symbol, and then you let the people can help vigilante with
yeah,
you. They can be out there doing it with you, and you know, um, I want to do this every year, and I want to do it
mhm,
with people, and and bring them in jointly and also give the platform. And, like I say, once again, it's good for my brands because they're getting more exposure with other people. It's good for them. Let's just build a thing together now.
Yeah,
Right.
and like you
I
said,
still get the
each year,
branding. It's still my
yeah.
branding. Yeah. So let's
Um,
do it. We brought it to India this year and we're doing it 3 more times. It's still
that's
coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I keep seeing that with the giveaways, it still blows my mind to see like, okay, this one's for, the United States, this one's for local. It's just it has everything. Like you really are
I
giving to
noticed last
everybody.
year that you get the comments like, "Oh, I wish I lived in North America. I wish I lived here." And I'm like, that was the other thing with the community creators. Like, I can
Mm,
go to Joe in the UK and he could handle Europe. Like, can you pull off something? Like, um, and he just had a Vancouver brand send him a watch to shoot. So he's giving away a Vancouver watch brand, right? And then I reach out to Pram and Phantom in India, and I'm like, you guys want to do giveaways? Like, you've got to. And then it's like, do an India giveaway, and then I got reminded. By the way, we have 1.8 billion people, and I'm like, yeah, you are your own.
yeah,
this is DANSOME India, but you host it, right? So
yep. And
next
that's
year we'll get
actually
an
how
Australian. Yeah. Yep.
I blew up. My channel did go to India, and that's how I did get a bunch of followers at one point. And it was just crazy to see. It's like that is just a second Instagram
Yep.
of that amount of followers at that point. It's just an entire other platform
That's
of
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. It was really neat. And talking about giveaways, the 7-iron golf giveaway that I was able to win,
Yep.
um, that was so neat because they're still just selling their stuff south of the border, if I'm correct, at this time and juncture.
It's pretty, yeah, because that's why they did the American only giveaway this year,
Yep.
right? So they're focusing on the US market. I mean, you can get them, but it makes more sense logistically to build it there and then move out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Their
And
giveaway, when he told me what it is fantastic. Yeah.
I was blown away because I was like any like one of those things that would have been great to have, but
Yep.
the collection like
And I don't know how yours held up, but man, for a small direct consumer glove brand, they are pretty darn good. Yeah.
yeah, I so I didn't get as many rounds in, but
Yeah.
I'm harsh on my glove, and there's always a wear one like right through there, and then maybe one pocket there just gone, and
Yeah,
some
my buddy
gloves.
Greg hits a lot more balls than me, and he did the Scotland trip, and yeah, his 7-iron gave out, but they're eventually going to give out. Like
Yeah,
hardcore users aren't going to get more than 3 months. But I don't play a glove. I keep them for rainy days, so mine last
yeah,
years. But my buddy Jay in Indiana, um, he did all his winter sim golf league and a lot of range sessions with it, and he keeps telling me it held up. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I did try to keep it for play only, and it
yeah.
did sneak into some range sessions, and that was like one of them was at down at the docks in Toronto during the winter.
Hmm.
And it was like I'm grabbing like frozen clubs, and um it wasn't good. I maybe even spilled some coffee on it. Sorry about that, guys. But it's held up. It's gonna I think I'm gonna maybe make it my one range bag glove. I do
Yeah,
love still having it,
yeah.
but it was a great glove.
Um, no, I've been lucky with a lot of these companies. And when you find a good small brand, you talk about it. Pioneer's
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah.
Oh, they
And
make
that
good stuff. And now that they've purchased the bigger company and they've just expanded their reach. Yeah.
I was gonna say they look like a different company, like in a good way. That sounds like, but
Yeah.
from
And
last year.
they're just, they deserve it. They're fabulous people. They flew out to my 50th birthday. I mean, from Edmonton, right? Like they came out and we spent the weekend and got to know them. And AJ and Sarah, they're just fantastic.
Yeah.
The same
And
story with Jim sub 70,
yeah,
right? Like
the
when
community.
he appeared online, I'm like, I'm gonna message this guy and see if I can borrow some club heads, and just that's when I was practicing club head photography based off the watch stuff. And I tell you, never once did that guy ever push me to play his gear. He
Mm,
he well, first he snuck his way into our golf group. So he finagled his way in so he could become friends with all of us. But through that, I'm like, I got got some graphite shafts in the closet. You want to put some heads on them? And he's like, great, let's do it. So then I played the irons, and they're good. Like
Yeah, and they look
direct to
great.
consumer product, that is like a legit golf brand. Like the stuff is well made. The wedges are fantastic. They win my Golf Spy awards. The hybrids, the wedges. I don't think the wedges won the award, but they were in the top three. They're the best accurate, most accurate. Like the stuff's fantastic, and he is an awesome guy. If you're gonna have somebody on a podcast, he's he's got a crazy history in the golf and in the hockey and tennis world. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I love to hear that. I would
yeah.
love to hear that.
He's been a hockey scout in the NHL. He still scouts on the side. Like there is a life story there that I like to retell because it's hilarious sometimes and it's fabulous. Yeah.
Well, Jim,
We're on the golf course, and then there's a new story. Then I was the coach of this team in Germany and the GM, and like it's amazing.
it
Yeah.
just opens up these other
Yeah.
doors. Well, yeah, Jim, we'd be definitely happy to have you. I did see a lot of the sub 70 stuff, and I did have a few ideas of like what I would love to do because right now
Yeah.
I'm in that age of like I love my 2 iron, right? Like I love it, but
Yeah.
can I hit it consistently? No. Should I be going hybrid? Yes.
Yeah.
The fact that they have both and both options look amazing, I would love to do some kind of test of where my numbers are at, be it at a TrackMan or be it outside.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
you're
that's
back
kind of my
east. So you've
idea.
got we can put you in touch with Gino, right? Yeah.
So
Runs
make it happen.
but I'm doing a winter build project. It might be a driving iron, so I'll let you know how they go. Yeah.
Very cool. I
Yeah.
just did a little tune up on my Mizuno driving iron,
Yeah.
and I'm touching up the rest of the Mizunos this winter as well. I have a lot of jobs that like these old Arnold Palmers I want to touch up for the
Yeah. I
Blades
love the
tournament.
fact that you're getting all that old gear. I saw a 90s Bettinardi, but it was whatever company they were with. It was on Facebook Marketplace. I was going to tell you about it. Yeah.
Oh yes, I was actually not looking at that, but I was actually looking at the history. What is the brand? Because
Yeah.
obviously Acushnet with Titleist, but what was
Wasn't Wilson, I don't think.
yeah, I would love to
But it
because I
was
love seeing that. When you see those
yeah.
brands and those players, it's like that's what they were playing. And
Yep. But it was a branded Bettinardi. And then I asked I know Dave from my Golf Spy. He's the putter guy. So I messaged him and he said, it's a Bettinardi. It's as good as any of the other ones. They were just helping make them and branded for, I forget the company, but yeah,
really,
it was on Facebook Marketplace. I was going to tell you, part of me was like, do I pick this up and do a project? Like, yeah, I don't know.
well,
I
I'm
just,
gonna do a
yeah,
little Googling here, and if it's
yeah,
still on, it will pop up on the screen now. Yeah, the old gear, it's that's kind of like a piece of us for sure. It's like I started golfing with my grandpa's old lefts, my dad's slightly less old rights, and that's how I leaned. I went up going right, and I don't care, what it looks like as long as it gets the job done and it's comfortable in your hand, comfortable in your swing. But it is important to make them look good too.
it's crazy to hear how people got into it and what they actually started with. I mean,
Yeah,
I started in 80. So the clubs I was getting were rebar by the time they were cut down. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And if would you say you started with any persimmons at all? Would
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
My first driver was a blue persimmon rental. It said rental on it. My 3-wood was a beautiful Jack Nicklaus.
Oh,
In like a
nice.
golden honey finish. It was gorgeous. Yeah. You know, um, what's the weave for the ferrule called? I mean, it was the whole,
Yeah,
yeah. Um,
the wine,
but
yeah, whatever that is.
it was spun. But yeah, I had those, and I had like a Spalding 5-iron and some Jackie something 7-iron. Oh yeah, I had the whole thing. But I had an
Well,
8802. I wish I hadn't lost that. Yeah.
there's always the one, right? There's one club in that kind of old set that would be nice to have today. And
I lent it to you, John, and I swear I never got it back. I'm looking right into the camera. You know,
he's calling them out.
I putted so well with that 8802, and then I
It's
tried
a
a
beautiful club.
modern 8802 style, and trust me, I could not putt to save my life. With that sweet spot that's the size of a dime, and yeah, no, not for me. Yeah, give me a big wide face balanced putter. Yeah,
Oh, I love that. Yeah, we actually kind of in that vein of, that kind of mixed bag you were talking about there.
Yeah.
Our old club, I went back to play, and I donated this McGregor bag. It's kind of more for display. The one side's kind of ripped a little, and I just,
Hmm.
but it looks beautiful. I thought, you know what, just have some old clubs and that same feeling, like someone's got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
and this will be free for anyone who wants to go and play, and then maybe they'll go, oh my God, like. Uh, Gregor a 3-wood and then a ping 5-iron. Like they're kind of it's a neat set. It's all random,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping it'll kind of make some kids' day. Just
That's
starting out.
awesome. Yeah. I still got my black dot King I2s sitting in storage. Yeah. But what I want to bring out this year is I have my 1991 Steelhead Mizuno MST driver. Yeah. I
Ooh.
used to bomb that as a kid. I could coil. Yeah. I want to bring it out now because I think the club head's the size of my hybrid. Yeah.
It is wild, yeah. And
Yeah.
I didn't talk about it in the last podcast, but went down to Chicago this summer and did the Blade and Persimmon tournament,
Yeah.
and it was wild seeing these guys like stripe it. Like I had a few good ones myself, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm known for. But some of these guys were hit. I'd love to see them without this tech. Like they were going low with 70s, 80s blades. It
If you
was
can
really
ball
cool to see.
strike, you can ball strike. Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. You give this person a broom, they might be going
Yeah.
low.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you get
Well,
back to Chicago, you got to make sure you go knock on Sub 70's head office door. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
is that where they are though? Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe. I
Yeah.
keep having reasons to go back to Chicago, so that's perfect.
Yeah. I want to go there. They've got that. It looks like a cool little setup. They do have like the fitting bays and the fancy bar area with the jukeboxes and stuff.
Yeah, I always thought for some reason that, was New York, but I guess I didn't look. That's Chicago.
They're, I think it's Syracuse, Illinois, or something. Isn't that? Or no,
Oh,
Syracuse is that's just the name of the putter. But
yeah.
they're
Maybe that's what I'm thinking, because
they're
Syracuse, New
not
York.
right. They're I think they're a suburb. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I've taken up a lot of your time today,
It, I
but
am
I
on
really
lunch hour with
appreciate it.
work right now. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about that. We got to keep this to a
Nothing
strict.
has popped up on Slack in front of me here, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, in the giving mood, thank you for giving up your time. I really appreciate it. Not just today, but in all the help you've helped the channel. And everyone,
Thank
look
you.
forward
Yeah.
to X amount of days of DANSOME. Go
It's
follow
15 days, people. That is it. Okay.
no more, no less.
Yeah.
But yes, go follow the man. Go follow the brands that we were talking about today that all follow in there. Um, Everyone, have a great day, and thank you so much for
Thank you so
stopping
much.
by.
Yeah.
Bye.